Well, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. A bit of, well, policy, local policy. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. We're talking about a cleaner Lagos. And that, as you know, came about as a result of the news coming out of the House of Assembly yesterday. This is after Honorable Mudashiru, I beg your pardon, Honorable Bolan Ishau had risen on the floor of the House and had made the contribution that ended up with the Speaker, Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, actually saying, you know, from there that the former arrangements of PSPs that had been sort of retired in the wake of an alternative arrangement, a new arrangement by the sitting government in Lagos State, they should just get up and go back to work. And so that's the news. We couldn't get anybody to really speak to us as deeply as we would have wanted to. It doesn't mean we didn't get some people from the House of Assembly, because we wanted to know, hang on, how is this going to work? How about that, the doctrine of separation of powers? You know, the legislature, the executive, the judiciary, and how everybody, has their own almost watertight compartments. How does all of that work? Because if they have now said that if the House of Assembly, such an institution as it is, if it has now said that, look, they don't recognize Visionscape, they were not consulted in any case, so they're not even aware of the whole Visionscape situation, and it's all about a cleaner Lagos at the end of the day. So that's what we'll look at today, try and sort of have an understanding of how this is going to work, what's going to happen to Visionscape, how soon will they swing into action. That is what the National Assembly, what the House of Assembly has indeed said should be the way, go back to work, all those former PSP operators. But before we go there, let's hear a bit more. We have some sounds on tape of honorable legislators very, very shortly after the statement had been made.
There is a lot of fleets everywhere, and it is assumed that Visionscape is not doing much, and the PSP are there rotting away with their compactors. So the House feel the PSP should come in at this time around, so that our state will be adjudged as one of the cleanest states in sub-Saharan Africa. So what the House has just succeeded in doing is just to tell the local government to interface with the PSP around them, so that the PSP can come around as an intervention arrangement to clear all the waste and debris in their domain.
The majority members on the floor of the House today decided that we should allow the PSP to work with the local government, so that we can be able to support whatever that is on the system that is on ground. They know the terrain perfectly. So there are a lot of areas where this new system on ground will not be able to really extend their operation to. Nothing wrong in the executive coming in to support our suggestion, so that we can all have a cleaner environment.
Lagos has become an eyesore. It has become a shadow of itself. And we cannot allow or continue to condone the decadence of the environment to the detriment of Lagosian. And that was what informed the call, especially when on several occasions the House has already taken a position that the Visionscape is not known in law.
Okay, so there you have it. One of the honorable people on that tape referred to it as a suggestion, and that there would be nothing wrong if the executive was to come forward and sort of give life to the suggestion. But it's an interesting thing. Is it a suggestion? Because suggestions, by their very nature, it's been made, yeah, I'll consider it, or we'll look at it, it's a suggestion. Or was the honorable member being diplomatic in his use of words? I don't know. This is essentially something that, in the absence, and I know we will be getting them to expatiate a bit more on the matter as we go along, but in the meantime, it'll probably be nice to hear what you think out there, which is really the essence of all of this. It came out of the blue. The whole matter of this, as I said, it caught me unawares because of this whole doctrine of separation of powers. But then again, what exactly do you think about it? So the phone lines are there. You can let me know. We'll also have some people weigh in on the matter, but it's all yours at the moment. Now, what cannot be contested is that Lagos is not, in terms of refuse disposal, things are different. There are those who will be outright about the matter and say, things have gone bad. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether from the point of view of the government, maybe it'll be seen as, look, it's a work in progress. You know, all of these things, they need time, as we often hear that these things are, they need a bit more time and all of that. I don't know really, but well, in the first place, Reverend Dominic, good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. How are you today?
Great, thank you. Thank you very much for calling in. How do you grab hold of this news?
The news is so much acceptable to me. I think for the first time, the State Assembly have risen to occasion. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Truth be told, I don't know, they say you don't change a winning team. And in our own society, we blame nobody. If you come to my site here, it's an eyesore. I live at Last Week on the road. There's a dump site near a general hospital here. Not only that the dump site is dirty, this new company now have using their truck and blocked the whole road. It's an express road. If you know Last Week on the road, there was an accident there a year ago that consumed a candidate of local government. Right for there. Many died there. If you go there now, they dump the refuse right on the road. Right on the road. This is not the Lagos we knew. When PSP came years ago, it was the best thing that happened to Lagos. We can only appeal to the government in power to find a way out. A clean nation, at least, is a healthy nation. And Lagos is epitome of Nigeria. Any man, any diplomat that comes to this nation, if he goes to Abuja, he goes to Abuja for ceremony. He would like to come to Lagos, what we call the capital, the economic capital of Nigeria. Lagos is dirty now. We want to preach to everywhere. Everywhere you go, you see this dump site on the transformer, on the bus stop, everywhere you go. My own side there is an eyesore. I don't know people who is in general hospitals here, what they're suffering. If it is the odor of the dustbin, or they're fighting any disease, they have become something else. We have to plead to government in power. Please find something to do and bring back PSP so that they can clean Lagos. It's good for everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in, Reverend Dominic. And as I said, we heard that man on tape say it was a suggestion. But, you know, those are the questions that you've addressed all of those questions. We've since been joined by Honorable Ipola Omishore, a political affairs analyst. And when I say Honorable Omishore, he's a one-time member of the House of Assembly. He's still very much in the party in Lagos State. So very good morning to you, Honorable.
Good morning. Good morning.
And I don't know how much you knew of the statement that came out of the House of Assembly before it was released. I was a bit surprised simply because of this whole doctrine of separation of powers. And usually you don't get announcements from Houses of Assembly as to how policy is in the state. What do you think is going on in Lagos?
Well, the House of Assembly is an arm of government. And the Assembly is, the legislature is a catalyst to good governance. The three arms, they coexist, but the legislature represents the people. The executive represents governors. So we are, the assembly is nearer the people. They are in the neighborhood. They feel the pulse of the people.
Okay.
And at times they have to speak out. Because in Lagos, an average legislator represents 400,000 people. And when they are crying, and you are in the assembly and you don't talk, then you have failed. So this time around, what we have seen is they play up the people that voted them in. What do they mean? They drive on the roads, they live in the neighborhood, they saw the refuse, they saw everything overtaken, and they saw a Lagos that was never like this.
Okay. And they went, I'm guessing right now, because here, as I said, until we get policy statements, we're going to have to, no doubt, speculate our way around this. When the State Assembly has put out this directive to former PSP operators to go back to call the councils, call the community development areas, and said, start meetings with those guys immediately, pay them. The whole notion about you can't dump refuse one place as was in the past, people should just fix all of that, and largely, can we just go back to how we were before? Because the assembly is all about law and order and good governance and rule of law and all of that, I'm wondering why they didn't put pressure on the governor to do what they have just themselves announced, so that, because they're all interlinked, one can't exist without the other. The governor certainly can't have a good time if he has the House of Assembly behind him. So if he doesn't have the House of Assembly behind him. So I wonder why they didn't go that route to satisfy this whole rule of law, division of labor thing.
See, these are unusual times. In the assembly, we direct the government to do this, do that. But at the end of the day, when it's not done, you remember your boss. The boss of legislator are the voters. They come to the legislators at home, in the office, as constituency office, and at informal and formal meetings to complain. And when you hear this sort of thing, you know it's an unusual time where the voters are speaking. You see, when an average legislator speaks, he's talking for a lot of people.
Sure.
It's an unusual time because the legislature must have, met the executive, must have directed the executive, and things are not done. You see, Lagos is a special part of Nigeria. There's a template. Since 1999, there has been a way of getting results. If you cannot better the standards, you don't lower it. If you go on the road now, this is not the Lagos we used to know. And it will be naive of the assembly to keep quiet. And they want to come back. So the public asks them, you want to come back, look at the roads. So they are reacting to the people's demand. So if the executive is not moving at the pace, this is the time to make them move faster. That's why I say the assembly is a catalyst. They are trying to stampede them to do the normal. PSP, they have been operating locally, and they have been getting results. So if you want to bring innovation, ensure that innovation can be better than the past. But where the innovation is substandard, is not meeting up with the past, whether it's from Oyibo land or anywhere in the world, people want improvement. Lagosians are not seeing improvement, and the House of Assembly has spoken. And when Assembly speaks out, not directing the executive, is showing you that somebody somewhere is speaking. And who are those people? The populace.
So this is like, from what you've explained, this is hearing it directly from the people, in which the actual power that they exist on resides. That seems to be the way you've analyzed it.
It's simple. The assembly people are holding power in trust for the people. The people at home know more of the honorable members. Nobody will go to a commissioner for housing. Nobody will go to a commissioner for information. But there's only one commissioner for environment. How many people go to that commissioner? But every legislator is an embodiment of government. And you can imagine some of them cannot sleep. PSP operators are jobless. Workers working for them are jobless. The neighborhood are not cleaner. The CDC, CDA are worrying them, and they know that they are coming for elections.
So the problem that maybe the executive might have in Lagos is that whole maxim about if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Apparently, they
if you cannot even improve.
They tried. Well, that's yeah. We're saying
even Yoruba says, "Shabo legbami, shemi bo shebami." That if you cannot improve my lot, leave me the way I was.
So it means this whole visionscape idea is not approved of.
I'm not saying it's not. It's approved. I mean, visionscape did not come overnight. But the assembly knew about it.
But the assembly has said that judicially, I mean, in a legislative manner, we are unaware.
Let me just tell you, the assembly legitimizes and delegitimizes. As of today, Lagosians are not happy, and the assembly cannot stay somewhere and go against the populace. So today, as of today, the assembly are not happy and they don't want it. Okay.
One moment, please. Saka in Surulere, apologies, first of all, for holding you on for a while. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief Yori Polani.
Just Yori, thank you very much. Please go on.
I would like to intervene on this issue.
We're waiting to hear your contribution.
Okay. Where are the state of assembly when these things is on before?
He's gone. I didn't want to even...
He has asked a question,
yes,
which is very legitimate.
Okay.
The visionscape couldn't have just walked into Nigeria or walked into Lagos. The assembly must have been briefed. And when you propose something to me, and it's a good idea, it seems to be a good idea on paper, I will say yes. Only a fool will resist improvement. But when what you put on paper does not match what is on the street, definitely, there's no harm in assembly saying yes, bring improvement. But when the improvement does not come, the agent also has the right and common sense to say no, because to be frank with you, they are in the neighborhood and they cannot pretend. And today, Lagos, as on the road now while I was coming, I saw more than 10 refuse dumps.
Yes, yes, and that's something that we thought we'd seen the last of in Lagos.
When I was honorary member and I saw just one, I would just call. Before I come back, it's gone.
Yes. When you're saying what you're saying, part of the statement from the House of Assembly was that we, judicially speaking, are unaware of visionscape. But you seem to be saying the direct opposite.
What I'm saying is that improvement does not need a name. Okay. They do not need to tell the House of Assembly that visionscape is coming. We want to do it better. And the Assembly say, yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
So question of name is a brand name.
Okay, because it's not the business of the Assembly to micromanage.
They don't need to. No, don't need to
but when a situation, I think you said, and I think Dominic said before you, has gotten to a desperate level, then perhaps unusual measures might need to be taken. Thank you very much for holding on. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go on, please.
My contribution is that as much as what has happened has created a challenge to negotiate generally, it is not the place of the assembly to do what they are doing, because it is going to mess up the thing even further. The state government has the right to bring in whoever they want to bring in their They don't need to seek permission from the assembly. That's not part of the functions of the House of Assembly. If the assembly feels aggrieved about the matter, they can call in the executive and call in the PSP and do a public hearing on the matter. That way the issue will be resolved. But the way they are going about it is only going to make things even dirtier. There are contractual obligations that have been entered into, and to break such things is going to cost a lot of money. So they need to take into consideration all the aspects involved in this matter to resolve it amicably.
All right, then.
The issues are more fundamental than they are trying to portray. We should not, the Assembly and the current governor are members of the same party. It can be discussed officially, it can be discussed unofficially, just to resolve the matter. But the way they are going about it is only going to make things worse.
All right, then. Thank you very, very much for calling in. He said the fundamental issue is at the core of all of this. And I think the fundamental issue is a cleaner Lagos.
Lagos. Actually, unknown to the public, there will have been undercurrents. The Chairman's Committee on Environment will have summoned the Commissioner of Environment. It will have summoned even the Governor's Office, and there will have been a lot of explanations. And there must have been promises of improvement. And at the end of the day, the assemblymen and women are the most accountable people. People think the executive is the one that carries the car. No, it's not so. Daily, every honorable cannot sleep. The governor will even sleep better. The assemblyman will not sleep in his neighborhood. And people do not really know that Assembly is the nearest to the people, the legislators, and they feel the pain. And I said it's an unusual time. Unusual time means a situation where that should not happen that has happened. Mm-hmm. Because whether we like it or not, the government wants to improve on the past or the present, but it could not. And when you fail the people, the 40 legislators will have an answer to give. And I'm sure they have run out of defense for the executive.
Okay.
And hence, they have gone down to the grassroots. Don't forget that before the primaries, the PSP operators went on rampage, cleaning Lagos without asking for money. Voluntarily, on their own self, want to show that we have been working and we can do it.
And that we can.
And they went around, and within that 4 days, Lagos was better. Now,
okay.
After they are dropping off,
yes,
it's too bad again.
Yakub in Dokwemo, good morning, sir.
Yes, very good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Yeah, good morning to you again as well.
Good morning.
To me, usually, I think the governor of the state, the vision that they have about the vision scheme, I think is a very good vision. But what I see there is that the company that they give the job to, they lack the capacity to do the job. That is number one. If I can say this, here in my area in Dokwemo, I think I've never seen the company called Vision Scheme to come and pick up our Revit. Since inception, the normal people that have been picking our Revit before, they are still doing the job. But the only thing is that they were not doing the job like before. They only come maybe once in 2 weeks now. In fact, we are still paying the same money that we are paying before the Vision Scheme or the thing come up. So if we are not saying Vision Scheme or no Vision Scheme, and then the Lagos State House of the Assembly are not telling us that it was not known to them or it was not known to law, as case may be, I don't think that is not the issue. The issue now is that, as the last caller rightly said, the both of them, the Lagos State House of Assembly and the governor, both of them, they are from the same party. They should call the governor to order. They should sit down in camera and discuss about this. The vision is good, but as I said earlier, they lack the capacity to do the job. If the job will return to the people that did the job, normally do the job before, I can tell you within a week, all the refuge in Lagos State will be cleaned up. That is the truth.
All right, then. Thank you very much for calling in, Yakub. Yakub, I got to make room for other callers, but thank you very much for your call.
You see, it is very clear that refuse collection is local. There is always refuse in every community. There must be somebody in that community to clear it. There must be local people to do it. It's not a computer work. Mm. If Oyibo come, Oyibo will not, if does not bring anything new, you cannot achieve it. In the whole of England, you will see just one machine by the roadside and it will clean 1 kilometer in 5 minutes. So if Oyibo is not bringing that, and it's going to be still manual, and the capacity is so low, you see them driving beautiful cars about. Refuse cleaning does not need any tie like you. We have men on the ground, we have local men that can walk. They are there, they have been sacked. On the road, you see people wearing pinkish, or in those days, they clean the streets, they have been sacked.
Those orange...
so orange thing. So the anticipation was so high, the expectation was so high, the output now is not good enough.
Okay, so Lagos State Assembly has rejected Visionscape, the new refuse management company, and it's all about a cleaner Lagos at the end of the day. So I don't know.
I'm not happy with the word refuse.
Reject.
I'm not even happy with the word reject. If you delegitimize, you cannot come around to say.
Well,
you can.
No, when they say reject, rejects everything they see about Visionscape, the effectiveness. They've rejected it. If you say this, if nobody was complaining, then we are going to complain. Seems to be what?
Lagosians have even rejected it. So talking about the House of Assembly is like us is stamping what the people are saying. Assembly is just a rubber stamp for the yearnings and cries of Lagosians.
Since I know you're not in the Assembly anymore, but just from your knowledge, from your wealth of knowledge in these whole matters, do you think, for the sake of, could you consider intellectually, does the government of Lagos State have to abide by this? What if they were to stick to their guns? Because they have a plan. They've contracted to these guys. They probably see the roadmap. Maybe they know that, wait, this thing is supposed to really kick in by next year, and you want to truncate it now? We're almost so close. I don't know.
You see, those people at the House of Assembly, they are not 40 foolish men and women. They are 40 wise men and women. They should have done the needful. There is a normal process when there is something like this. The House will invite the Commissioner of Environment. The House will invite the general manager at Loma. They will discuss at that level. They will come to committee level. The Speaker will have met the governor. There must have been a lot of promises. We are going to improve. We are going to improve. We are going to improve. When that fails, and there is a cough between the Speaker and the governor, and there's no changes, that's when, you see,
that's when
the public don't know that it is good when the executive and legislature clash. It's for their best interests. By the time we parley, we dancing, we talk together, and there's peace. It's not good for the electorate. Occasionally like this, we see the red eye of each other. And it's for the betterment of the voters.
Let me bring in Moreni KG in Kainji, Niger State. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Gary.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
Yes, Uncle Gary, please permit me to make a proverb to the elderly man seated there. And I'm trying to say, come out in Noah, I'm not there.
Okay, would you like to explain it?
Yes, what that means is they should not teach us what we know. Before I left Lagos, let me give an example, Uncle Yori. In my area, the councillor, this Visionscape, the refuse dump that was brought to my area, this councillor had about 3 in his father's compound. Now, those 3 were supposed to be distributed along the strategic junctions where people will go and drop their refuse for this Visionscape to work. Now, that councillor, if you want me to bring pictures, I can go there and take pictures. I'll send someone there to take pictures and I'll send it to you. That councillor took those things to his house, to his father's house. Now, that honorable member seated there does not know that. We are on the street. We know what is going on. I come to
Moreni KG, let me understand you. When you say 3 of those refuse bins were put in a councillor's relative's compound somewhere, was that because they generate so much refuse there, or to sabotage the operations of Visionscape? What was the idea that you had? Why would any sane, normal person do that?
Okay, God bless you. The essence is just to sabotage the government's efforts. That is the essence.
All right, then. Okay. So you're saying there's more to this than meets the eye, Moreni KG?
Yes, okay. Let me give another point, okay. The elderly man seated there saying there are no roads in Lagos State. But the TVC did show Alagbado, the governor was commissioning the road in Alagbado.
Who said road?
We all watched
the Honorable hasn't spoken about roads this morning. Maybe you're coming from another station. Maybe they're talking about that in a different station. No?
No. Okay, he said it, that there are no roads in Lagos. Go to Lagos, there are no roads in Lagos State.
Who said that?
He said it.
I don't know, sir. I don't know, but I understand you. I don't know if he might have said something that you might have misheard, maybe about there's no road that in Lagos that you won't find refuse heaps on.
Refuse heap.
Maybe that's it. But
I come to Lagos.
Moreni KG, let me understand you. When you say 3 of those refuse bins were put in a councillor's relative's compound somewhere, was that because they generate so much refuse there, or to sabotage the operations of Visionscape? What was the idea that you had? Why would any sane, normal person do that?
Okay, God bless you. The essence is just to sabotage the governor's efforts. That is the essence.
All right then. Okay. So you're saying there's more to this than meets the eye, Moreni KG?
Yes, okay. Let me give another point, okay. The elderly man stated that saying there are no roads in Lagos State. But the TVC did show Alagbado, the governor was commissioning the road in Alagbado.
Who said road?
We all watched
the Honorable hasn't spoken about roads this morning. Maybe you're coming from another station. Maybe they're talking about that in a different station. No?
No. Okay, he said it, that there are no roads in Lagos. I go to Lagos, there are no roads in Lagos.
Who will say that?
He said it.
I don't know, sir. I don't know, but I understand you. I don't know if he might have said something that you might have misheard, maybe about there's no road that in Lagos that you won't find refuse heaps on.
Refuse heap.
Maybe that's it. But I just wanted to assure you that we hadn't spoken about roads this morning. We're going to a commercial break. We'll be right back. We're going to keep on taking your calls. Okay, welcome back, and we're looking at the objective of a cleaner Lagos. There was a time, it's in distant memory now, and this goes back to the Tinubu regime in Lagos, administration, we don't use regimes for politicians, the Tinubu administration, when there were these heaps all over the place and they faced it squarely, and in due course, they disappeared. It was a battle, but they came up with a format, and those refuse heaps disappeared. And Lagos began to, live the normal kind of a life. And then in recent times, these heaps began to come back. It doesn't matter what side of whatever divide you're on, you can't deny the fact that Lagos was getting dirtier and dirtier. And there are those who say that they were even now afraid of a possible outbreak of a plague if care is not taken. In any case, it's old news by now. Yesterday evening, it transpired that the House of Assembly had directed the 20 local councils and the other 37 FCDAs to go right back to where we were before, bring in all the PSPs. Just the whole emphasis is to return Lagos to where it was. We didn't have refuse heaps all over the place. Now, Moreni KG calling in from Kainji, Niger State, just to sort of re-emphasize that whole bit. We hadn't spoken here about roads at all, but I'm guessing that you might have misheard when Honorable Omishore said that there are no roads in Lagos without refuse heaps. Could it be possible that that first part of it is what you heard, but we didn't talk about roads? We're not talking about roads. In fact, the Honorable was saying that Governor Ambode doing about 20 roads in Ojokoro, where I come from. There you go. So SCDA. On the road aspect, that's not the subject matter. It's highly commended. We have discussed this whole problem or this whole matter about performance, and that has been put in its place. It's been put in the context. Performance is performance. But I don't know what happened. There are those that are no doubt studying it and that have been studying it, because the Assembly wouldn't come out with the position of yesterday evening. It didn't start yesterday morning. It didn't. They've been at it for some time, right? That's what you seem to be saying. Because usually when we have coalition. Sorry, sir. The point is, you don't think government is in a position to say, nice suggestion, but we're staying with this? No, you see. You don't think government... No, that's the beauty of democracy. There's conflict. You see, the public should know that when executive and as assembly, they are quarreling, is for their betterment. Okay. When we agree and we are
taking tea together, we are cheating the public.
Oh dear.
It's good for us to fight, for them to fight occasionally.
Okay.
The result will be for the betterment of the society.
Okay. So
now it's likely
the assembly
that this evening, before tomorrow now, you will see the governor, the speaker, all of them meeting again and fashioning out a solution.
Okay.
But silence of the assembly will have been negative. So I commend their bravery. Because Lagos Assembly has never been a stooge of any, even Fashola with all his law, we faced him. So it's good for the people for the assembly to fight for the public, and it's good for the governor also and the executive to parley and find a solution. The solution is cleaner Lagos.
Okay, so the solution is cleaner Lagos. Now I don't know
how they do it.
How they do it?
The public don't want to know. Well, but already the executive has been exposed by the legislator that you are not doing well in this area, and they are speaking for the people. When we talk at the floor of the House...
I hear you, and that is indeed, that's what they do in the National Assembly too. But the National Assembly can't move, for instance, and say, consequent upon how we are seeing this whole thing going on, we now direct customs move in this direction, immigration follow suit. They can't do that. See, everybody will shout. Everybody will say, what's going on?
What is going on is that there's a lacuna.
Okay.
When there's a lacuna, the public will now see.
Okay, let me quickly bring in Olalekan in Dublin, and then we can return to the point if you want. Good morning, Olalekan in Dublin.
Good morning, Corey.
Thank you very much for calling in, sir.
Yeah, my little contribution to this program is, the efficient state, you can't do it alone.
Good.
Lagos is too big for efficient state to clean the whole Lagos. At least there could be an arrangement with the efficient state and the PSP collectors so that things can be very, very okay. For them to leave the whole Lagos state to efficient state is too large. You just need to, put the PSP operators into certain areas that, like maybe from Ikoyi down to Epe, they can leave efficient state for that, and the whole area, the local areas, they could at least put the PSP operators to clean the whole mess. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
He has given the answer. Efficient should have been the umbrella for all PSP operators to operate. What you don't know is that there is underneath storm. Those wearing, what do you call that color?
That orange.
They are Lagosians. They are Lagosians. They have been put off job. They are crying. PSP operators, a lot of them got money in the bank, invested in machinery, they are out of job, out of business. They owe banks. They are part of society.
And this haven't been encouraged into those investments by a previous APC administration.
And one Igbo man just come, he dumped them somewhere, and he wants to work. Even naturally, it won't work because I said refuse gathering and clearing is local. Every area, there's a PSP, we know them, we call them, come and care. Who will call Visionscape now? When you even see them, when you see a Igbo man, you think it's superior at the local level. They can't call, cannot relate to Visionscape. So what I expect is the executive to meet with it. Like you said, National Assembly cannot just tell custom, do this, do that. I said these are unusual times. You will see, within 2-3 days, the public will see that it is for their betterment, for the House to make a pronouncement.
How about the loss that is imagined? Will, at the end of the day, be a loss of the state if this Visionscape contract is terminated? And that seems to be all the indications. I don't know, unless it can be sort of worked at. We don't want, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We don't want Visionscape, that kind of a thing. There are contractual obligations.
You see, the statement of the House is to ginger executive to do something. You see, the House is a place where you dialogue, where you lobby. Visionscape might not go, but Visionscape might be forced to do it in the way to get results. When the House speaks, they are talking to you, you see the House hardly make final pronouncement. They create a loophole for you to lobby, for you to get it right.
But this time, this announcement has not created any margin. They have said they are directing, unless I myself am misreporting the matter, they are directing the PSP operators to swing back into action. And people are going to enthusiastically swing back. Where does that leave the executive?
No, the executive can always go back. You see, we have, at the House of Assembly, we have something we call executive briefing. Okay. When there is a problem, they will come and brief the House. But where they fail, and the House is forced to speak, they are in trouble.
Well, thank God for the House, so that, because you've said at the end of the day, the ordinary person has to know that there's people who have his back, or her back, as the case may be. Kolawole in Lagos Island, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Please go ahead now.
I say good morning to
Honorable
Mishore too.
Morning, sir.
I have listened to his explanations, and as a Lagosian, I'm affected by what we're talking about, and I feel highly obliged to make these comments. Number one, I don't know how they work, but I'm not sure the legislators can give directive to local people to start work if there is no agreement. That's number one. Number two is the fact that the whole concept of visionscape was never understood by some of us. Fine, we might be wanting to take things to whatever level, but...
Do you understand it? Sorry for interrupting you, but
yes, sir.
Following up on the statement you made, do you personally and individually understand it?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
All I care about is I don't want refuse on the road.
A cleaner Lagos.
Yes.
You just want a cleaner Lagos.
We had problems before, and that problem appeared to have been resolved or was being resolved. That problem was being resolved, and suddenly it's coming back again. It doesn't make sense.
Indeed. Indeed.
So, what I think should have happened would have been to improve on what we had before and not to dissemble it completely.
Okay.
People, whoever they are, I never knew who they are, but people invested in compactors. They have people who go around, they come to our offices, they bring bills and all that. To throw them away just like that, and then what happens to those compactors? What happens to those people? The sweepers on the road, you see things and all that. I think maybe so much thought was not given to it. I know people can try to sabotage, but if you carry everyone along, that effect will probably be minimal.
Okay.
I had someone who said maybe they put collectors somewhere and some people kept it somewhere. It's not the collectors alone. Do they go around to carry whatever they have? And we have to block our noses every now and then when we pass through here and there.
All right, then.
That is not good for Lagos.
Thank you
very much, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in.
I think he has spoken.
Yes, but you see, the other part of this whole thing is that it's very, very difficult to get the parties concerned to speak to us. We tried as we could, as we would, to... Okay, let someone from the House of Assembly, let them come on to the program. Let's talk about it. Nobody wants to come.
Nobody will speak. I'm speaking to you because...
I know.
I'm speaking to you because I'm no more involved.
I know
but
that.
I can read the mind of the House.
That is why we asked you to come.
During Fashola's regime, I was the chairman of the Committee on Information. And we always pull trouble like that.
Yes.
And I was the spokesman.
And the way you people organize yourselves, they have spoken in the House of Assembly. Come and speak to a wider megaphone. I say, we have put the seed down. You people do what you will with it.
Why?
Now, even the executive, no luck.
No, do you know
Get someone to come and talk to us. What do you think about this?
That is the beauty of democracy. It's like throwing a bombshell. The way you react solves the problem. The House has spoken. And it's an unusual speech.
Yes.
Or directive.
Yes.
The receiver also knows that it's a bomb in their own court. The way they handle it, detonate it, decides their reflection to society. So the diplomacy will go on. Within the next 2-3 days, there will be a position statement.
Okay.
If any of them come now, they can spoil the show. So because I'm not concerned.
Yes, I understand it exactly is why you came, and it is the precise reason we couldn't get anybody to come from over there.
That I said it's an unusual situation.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
But it is the beauty of democracy. Those who voted, they are now seeing the dividend of their votes.
Let me go somewhere else because, first of all, that's why we have the caption on there. a cleaner Lagos. That's our focus and that's our interest. And that is the context under which we're looking at this. And nobody has said that those rubbish heaps didn't reappear. You can't do that in Lagos, the center of excellence, without there being repercussions. I understand all of that. But there is the whole other aspect, and I want to ask you, because you're no more in government, is there a political aspect to all of this? Because the executive had their issues, and those issues have been resolved, and we want to move on from there. We don't want to keep on looking back. We've since seen the dramatis personae, is that how they call them, hugging each other at public functions. So everything is back. We're cool again. Everything is down. We're cool again. Now, this continuation in the public like this is all well in governance in Lagos.
I will answer you because I'm no more.
Yes, that is why I asked you.
But what I'm telling you is that I said even politics itself is local. Politics is local. There are people who are not jobless at home, who are our boys, who we employ, who are working, they are now jobless. They are now hangers-on, disturbing the peace of legislators in their neighborhood. There are people who have PSP, or who are business proprietors, who took loan from the bank to buy contractors.
Okay.
They are worrying the politicians.
Okay.
And now, legislator has no money to give anybody.
I see.
But to get them back to work. So if you say it's political, it is political, because even in the church, there are politics.
Okay, Benjamin in Magodo, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Kuyari.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, and good morning to Honorable in the House.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Kuyari, I want to make a contribution, and my contribution goes like this. I look at everything that everybody has been saying, and you know that every one of them are from the same political family. And Yoruba sọ pé inú ilé ẹni láti jẹ èkúté onídodo. And I believe that this program that you are anchoring now, to me, it is not good for APC generally for this time of. The government can be called, and they can call themselves and talk to themselves as a one big family and resolve this matter amicably, so that the politics of APC will not be overeating. Thank you, and God bless you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that's his comment and opinion.
See, I like the opinion because it's an elderly advice.
So this should be treated as a family affair.
It's an elderly advice, which intelligent one. But Yoruba also says, "Bi o ba daru ki to." If a wobbly thing does not get...
Yoruba is like the Bible.
Yes.
There's no way there will be... there is somewhere
if something is
you can bring something to illustrate
bending,
something else.
If it's scattered, it get back and reset. What is happening now, when I started, I said it's an unusual time.
Yeah.
Unusual in the sense that how can the House Assembly tell the governor what you are doing is not okay in the public? But I know that in the House, when I was there, 2007 to 15, it happened. When Fashola was trying to do something, and we said, no, you cannot do it. And people say we are fighting. Public do not know that when we even are at peace with each other, we are cheating them. So when we fight occasionally like this in 3 years or 4 years, it's good now. When Yoruba says that when if people in government, judiciary, legislature, and the executive, they go inside the room and every day everything is peace, 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 voters have wasted their votes.
So thank God, as you explained, Honorable Omishore, that you are not in office anymore. Exactly. So that is why we couldn't get those guys.
You won't get them.
It is not, they probably are watching this now, so you know I'm not lying. We tried to get you guys. Yes. You wouldn't come on.
I'm searching for them.
But now.
Once an honorable, always an honorable.
Always an honorable. Now the other thing is that you've explained it. Our emphasis here is a cleaner Lagos. Yes. But you seem to have indicated in what you just said before I started speaking now that a cleaner Lagos, yes. But also, while achieving that, it's not only the ordinary Lagosian that was hurt by this junking of the policy that had been played from the Asiwaju administration, continued with the Fashola administration until this administration decided it had a better idea, which is not bad, but they decided, the whole society has decided it hasn't worked as of this moment. Yeah. I don't know if it had been given another 6 months, critical mass would have kicked in and we would have known. So are you saying that there are other people within the party structure that are friends of the party that are also losing out because of this shunting aside of a policy that was not broken?
I've said it. I've told you that those people, orange men and women on the streets.
Those are the mekunus. But even, you know, power brokers.
When you say power broker, the public is the power. Those people you see on the roads, they are...
The public is only the base of the pyramid. It's the most stable part.
Yes.
But it rises up. And then as you go up, you begin to see some other beneficiaries. Those are the ones I'm talking about. Were they also hurt?
Let me tell you, waste management is a multi-billion naira business.
So there's enough for everybody.
So you cannot, when you talk about the people on the streets, look at the people at the top who invested in PSP, in loans. Even banks are now worried.
Yes. So even those people were threatened, is the point I'm making.
Everybody is threatened. Everybody in the system. And what you don't know is that banks they have invested billions. They are not talking now. Bad debts are now rearing their heads in banks through waste management. And I want to tell you that waste management is not just local. It's international also. They are World Bank, you know, they want to see results. What they are hearing, they are not happy. That Lagos is not clean.
Mr. Adeniro in Mushin, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, my own contribution is that I have not seen any defect from this PSP operation. So I don't know why bring in Visionscape. So in order to resolve this matter, is and for Lagos to be clean, let the PSP operators come back and clean Lagos. That's my own contribution.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The solution that he's saying is good. If you ask me for my own solution,
sure,
I would have said Visionscape should become a consultant guiding the PSP. Let them work. But when you now want to say somebody will come and clean my backyard, do they even know my street? I've not seen them. So what I'm saying is that Visionscape, I don't know the magnitude.
I asked you, I hear all this, sir, but in just the 1 or 2 minutes that we have left, I asked you what you think about, because of the public nature of this particular spat, and you've said that these are different times, you know, that kind of a thing. I don't know what you think about governance in Lagos. Is all well, or is there a continuation? You know, there was a bit of political misadventure. Let us just leave it at that. And that has been sorted out.
Yes.
Could the consequences of such misadventure be continuing in the extant moment?
You see, the beauty of Lagos is that it's the only state in Nigeria with real continuity. And in continuity, a good executive will bring more innovation. But you see, it's necessary to test market every innovation at smaller scale before making it statewide. And that's the deficiency of the arrangement. So there's nothing wrong with continuity in Lagos. It's going to continue. If you look at Lagos, on other fields, we have recorded a lot of improvements. But what has happened now is also a test on democracy for the House to give directive. You know, it's a test to democracy.
A test for democracy, that the House is issuing directives.
It's a test on them.
That is whether democracy will stand for it or not.
No, the way the executive reacts will raise up the level of democracy.
So it's become like a political kind of chess.
It's like now saying...
It's like a political chess.
It's like audit.
They have made the statement. Let's see what the executive now says.
It's like audit query.
Okay.
The House has acted as like internal auditor to government now. You have not done well.
So we now have to see...
They say, this is why we do it. Okay, go back and do it this way. We present this thing. Visionscape contract, review it, do it this way, do that way. Then there's mutual respect.
So all of this
in a situation whereby the executive just do like this,
in terms of
the House will react.
In terms of communication then, Honorable, it's like all of this was then set up for the purpose of communicating a particular, you know, message.
Yes.
Yes. Let me take Mazi Okorafor. Good morning, Mazi Okorafor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, our guest in the studio.
Thank you very much for calling in.
You see, sir, when you are coming into Lagos from Ibadan, you just see where they road there. This is Lagos. But if you are entering Ibadan, you see that welcome to Ibadan. You see, there are two different names. Now, this is Lagos. I expect anybody, when you come to a place that says, the responsibility of this disposal is not government, everything, government. If Nigerians follow the guidelines on how to do all this, there will be no problem. But a situation whereby we Africans, we don't like it, want the way we within ourselves, the one directed, that is what to do. That is why you see all these issues of people, this one coming, this one coming, this one coming. If as a page now, as Nigerians now, you have seen where you are supposed to dispose yourself. You have seen what all this back and we follow it. Now you ask us, why is it all this letters, everything like that? Because they are not properly managed. And when we come now and say, let us manage this in this way so that to move forward for everybody, because the area we keep all these things neat environment. You see, all this malaria attack for, especially malaria attack for, you not talk about all this, but we don't know. That is why in Nigeria we only face symptoms instead of us to face what the causes. And this was all these rampant cases of all this disposal, everything, carelessness, like that. At the end of the day, it is we, the people that are there in that Lagos, anywhere you find us, whether it's or west within Lagos, that are suffering all these things. Thank you very much. Have a blessed weekend.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okorafor. And really, I want to thank you also, Honorable Ikwola Omishore, our political affairs analyst. And we can only speak of you like that because, as you said, hey, I'm not there anymore. When I was there, we couldn't get you because, but thank God we have you. We have our contacts, and we know those who their opinions, even if not official policy, are valuable, extremely valuable. And that, I think, is what has happened here. You've sort of explained the workings of it. I think the political saga continues in Lagos. But at the end of the day, everything is dovetailed towards a cleaner Lagos. In this particular instant, when we come to the next subject, we'll deal with that one. But in terms of sanitation in Lagos, refuse disposal, we already, I think that's what the party is saying, we already had a formula. Why vary the formula? And since it has been varied by way of experiment, can you please go back to the formula the way you met it? Thank you very much for coming on, Honorable Omishore. Okay, so that's our program. Please join us on Monday for a fresh edition. I am Iyori Folani. Have a great weekend.